Hello and welcome back for Game 2, where Golden Guardians will be facing off against 100 Thieves. Let's take a look at the starting roster. Selecting on the blue side, it is Golden Guardians. That means in the top lane, it is Zion Spartan. Jungling is Hard, Ablaze Olive in mid. Bot lane is Gorica with his support Huhi, and Coach Raz and Spook.
And facing them on the red side, it's 100 Thieves Academy. You've got Fake God in the top lane, Contracts in the jungle, Soligo on mid, Prismal in the bot lane, Breezy on support, and their coach, Kelsey Moser.
Did you see somebody in game as Yi? I hope so. So we do know both of our ADs here are promising AD carries marksman from the Honda Scouting Grounds. Prismal Honda Scouting Grounds of 2018 and Gorica of 2019. So definitely known commodities coming in here and what they can bring to the table. You know, if Gorica reaches the Prismal levels, that's a great place for him to be.
Yeah, and Prismal levels where I believe he was the MVP for the finals last year, where 100 Thieves ended up being the Academy World Champion. So Gorica will be facing off against what should be the best AD in Academy at the moment, just from the record.
And they are sharing a bit of the same champion pool. Misfortunes in there, Aphelios, Desire, a few things you would think. I do believe, yeah, he has the Syndra game in there, Gorica does, though, and the Soraka. So a bit of a change up there. We see the variety from his champion pool, so he's not afraid to go outside the box.
I appreciate that about him. As an AD, you know, you're trying to make a name for yourself. Why not try out what some of the best players in the world are doing?
Absolutely.
You know, this is the team that actually gave Dignitas the first loss. We just saw how hard Team Liquid had to fight to take down the 7-1 Dig squad, and Golden Guardians did it in a much more seamless fashion.
For sure, and we're looking at these gentlemen on your screen, Ablaze Olive and Soligo, as Mid Lane Monday does continue on. We see the damage per minute.
That's
huge. Ablaze Olive is blazing through it.
Holy,
I like it.
The best damage.
So I'm going to go, yes.
Nice.
Look at that on the fly.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
That was keen. I like it.
Could we just write whatever we want on the stats?
Put my name in there. Great stuff, though. And Ablaze Olive, you have to remember, he had these ridiculous games, an unfortunate loss, but the Oriana's stealing objective after objective. What game was that even in? Where am I going here? Oriana versus Immortals, that game back in week 2. Oh, my word. It's just like keep playing in my head, and we're in week 5 right now. So just knowing that he has that under his belt, he's a player that'll step forward. He's going to give a little trouble to Soligo, who has had a pretty decent season for himself and a very diverse champion pool coming in with Pantheons, Orianas, both deathless in those games. He's feeling it this year.
Yeah, he is. And the story for 100 Thieves this year has been how much does Soligo feel himself with the jungler synergy, because these two need to get ahead early and snowball the wins. These champions that you've mentioned, the Pantheons, the LeBlancs, you have to get an advantage and constantly invade, and they have progressed every single game. The problem is the meta is shifting in a different direction. Being able to play that early game focus isn't winning as much as it was on 10.2. It's 10.3 now.
A lot of the junglers are a little bit happy about that.
I am thrilled about that. Personally,
oh, yeah, you are a jungler.
Yeah, well, I'm a fill player now, by the way. I am not a jungler, thank you. But, yeah, it is good because you can now play more than Elise, Jarvan, Lee Sin. You can actually bust out the Sejuanis, the Karthuses, the Gragases, rising in priority. So you get more diversity in your team comps.
And I guess you never fall into the pit where you're like, I've been playing X games of Jarvan, somebody bans it, and you're like, oh, this game's going to feel bad because I'm just not playing.
No.
Because you're always playing something else.
What does feel bad, though, is if I hit my groove on the champion. Like last night, I was really on my Gangplank and Ezreal groove.
Ooh.
But then I'm getting mid every time. Or I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I guess it's time to...
And then you have to play with other Gangplanks and Ezreals who are just not up to par.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not an easy life. It's one of whimsical champions.
I like
but
the stash hard. Looks good.
Dude, stash gives confidence.
Absolutely.
It's the most confident I feel is when I have a mustache. And if I were to play League, I mean, you want to be a jungler that is fearless. You want to have no reservations about making a play. The reservations are for the review.
So you invoke the strength of Tom Selleck.
Exactly. Bring the stash out and then get everybody else on the team to do it as well. Because I know Darshan has rocked the stash before. Yep. So he's not, or Hart is not alone with Golden Guardians and his facial hair.
Check out the bands on the screen. Aphelios and Soraka set on one side. I'm guessing a Yumi's going to come out of Golden Guardian side at this point. Senna. We did say that actually being played in its new form, where we had a bit of aggressive farming from the bot lane. Senna just sat back, collected souls, and was doing a hell of a lot of damage. Actually had the most damage in the game at one point until it kind of went into the mid-game fight phase.
I did the Joshua Leesman experience yesterday.
Oh, you did?
And Jad was saying
this, yeah.
that one Senna soul is worth 50 gold.
That's gross.
Like,
why is Thresh thrown to the wayside
right?
in that, bro?
Well, because Thresh is only getting armor. She's getting
ability
AP,
power.
Or, yeah, in AP, but
Well, use it on
he's
your
not
team.
attacking with
Yeah,
his
yeah,
AP.
yeah, yeah,
Senna is getting range, so 50 gold. That means if you collect 100 souls, 5,000. And Yuumi will be the first pick. I'm fully expecting an Ezreal as well here coming out of Golden Guardians. I think this is the style that Yuumi works best in, with a marksman that can keep her safe. We've seen people try Misfortune Yuumi, but if they just jump Misfortune, you're really just getting a 2-for-1 with a kitty surprise at the end.
We're going to get Elise, maybe a tank here, a top laner. Possibly mid lane, Pantheon for Soligo. Hard. Olaf in the jungle would be fantastic with the Yuumi. What can we get?
Crazy. We already know what both these teams are going for. Golden Guardians, all about the scaling here. They know they need to survive the early game coming up against Elise Pantheon Flex, whereas 100 Thieves is hard committing to the early game. I think champions like Sejuani do a good job in getting you past the Elise early game, or a champion like Jarvan as well.
Ooh, Yasuo Yuumi. The knock-up, pop-up.
Oh, really? Misfortune against this? Okay.
Comfort picks coming in.
This would be a good time for more engage from the bottom lane, because ideally you just want to continue to dogpile Misfortune. You've got what is likely to be a mid or top Pantheon that can just keep going into the bottom lane at level 6. And what can Misfortune Yuumi do about it? They can't do much, by the way. That's why.
Yeah.
That's my point. They will die, and it will be an advantage for the 100 Thieves.
Varus locked in. What are our next bans? So top lane still hitting from 100 Thieves. They want to take down Zion Spartan. What else you been looking at up there? Nobody's even going for the Zyra Khan on this one.
Yeah, I think Thieves are obviously going to be banning the top laners here, or mid laners, whatever matchup they want to flex this Pantheon in, while Golden Guardians is trying to weaken the Varus as much as possible. Varus Khan Kenshi is the most common combination of the two, but Braum could still be a pick. I don't think it offers what 100 Thieves should be looking for here, which is hard engage, but it still synergizes quite well with Elise, Pantheon, and Varus for that early game skirmishing. So it's just putting more of the 100 Thieves eggs in the early game basket.
So last time they had the Yuumi, they went with an Azir, Renekton, Sejuani, and a Misfortune. So we already have a bit of change up there. The Azir can still be locked in. An interesting comp to have it in.
I want to see Blitzcrank. I want to see Blitzcrank in the meta again. I think Blitzcrank is actually one of the most underrated supports right now because of the
shield break.
Not just the shield break, but you're roaming a lot, and with champions like Yuumi inside, or Yuumi and Senna running around, you get a hook, and the value that you're getting out of eliminating one of these picks is giant. I mean, think about it. It's only a Misfortune, bro. So if you just hook her, you get 2 kills.
You get 2. 2 for 1. Yep. I like it. Usually you have to pay for something extra.
Right.
Like you get a free ice cream cone with that. You're like, I already paid for it in the dinner. It's really not.
Comes with a free
1.
cat. You're like,
nope.
It's got to be really cute for me to
Comes
want to
with a
keep
free
it.
cat. I'll take a free cat. That's a good one. Zoe getting locked in, so we're going to see some more trouble bubbles coming around.
So interesting to see that Zoe in Academies truly one of the highest prioritized mid laners, as we just saw the last game it got picked. Here it comes as a blind, and they have deemed Zoe and Pantheon to be the best combination to deal with the Pantheon. Pantheon against Gangplank, it's fine for Gangplank. He's going to have that graph in the end time, but oh no. Oh god, 100 Thieves main roster.
Woo!
Trickling down some of the strategies into 100 Thieves Academy as Fake God takes Gangplank to the dumpster like Someday did yesterday.
Ooh, Someday was playing that one pretty hard all around the map. I loved reading the social media on it too. They're like, oh, I can't believe how ahead the other team was. And I was like, did you see what Someday was doing the whole time to those turrets? Like, he had nobody contesting him, doing nothing against him.
And with Elise by his wayside, the solo lane focus from 100 Thieves is incredible here. It's about a safe bot lane. Breezy will try to survive alongside Prismal, but man, I want to see what Contracts can do here, because if he gets some ganks early, this game could be over in a flash.
All right, we're going to be loading out to the Rift for this. We're at 5 and 4 for both teams as we start to round the bend here in Week 5 and end it out. Who's going to be going home with those victories? Right now, FlyQuest is on a 3-game win streak, and they're feeling pretty great. They had the kind of 2 games to start were a win, 4 in a row where they just were not feeling it. Now it's starting to come back a little bit. They're figuring out how to get those wins, and a lot of them have been coming from that mid lane. 7-0 and 8 versus CLG in Week 4 for a Blaze Olive on Azir. A Cassiopeia game next at 3-0-5, really putting up that pressure. So mid lane Monday is going to spark off here. We'll see what happens between Blaze and Soligo as well.
Pantheon mid lane. This is one of the most action-packed mid laners you could ever pick. It's essentially the talent of competitive play as you just shove and roam and look for fights. So 2 clear and distinct win conditions for both these teams, and one of them is going to end up looking like a fool.
What are you selling? I want
Doran's items.
I want it. All right, we are off and running. Lucian just floating along there. Whew. I didn't know he floated in that skin. TBH.
Who?
Very cool.
Who's floating?
Lucian.
Oh.
He's zooming out. He has like an undead skin in High Noon, so I guess that works out. So Lucian versus Gangplank on that top side. Corrupting potions to start, machetes for the junglers, corrupting and dematerializers in mid. I knew I wouldn't say it right. The only discrepancy is to stop watching the bot.
Okay.
And your support items.
So Contract should probably start blue, make his way topside,
Okay.
and then just keep ganking.
What if he started the enemy blue?
It would
Get
be
in there.
So you could actually start the enemy blue because you have a range advantage with Lucian and Elise. So it's definitely an option to go for it, but it also turns the game into a bit of an early fiesta if you get caught in there. And when you have that strong early game comp, if you haven't practiced those scenarios, it's a very quick way to
Lose
throw your tempo off, and then suddenly you're like, oh, let's just try to stabilize, and then you realize you should not be the one stabilizing. You are the early game comp. You need to be pressuring.
So you can see Soligo charging up his stacks underneath. Now he gets a bit more damage out of Comet Spear. He can huff it right at a Blaze Olive and his targets.
So both junglers actually doing the exact same route. Red to blue buff into Gromp for level 3. And then we'll see where they gank. I feel better about Contracts ganking the bottom lane because you're up against Orica. And while he does have Cleanse, it's still a squishy misfortune. And the Lucian has a ward, so he won't suspect a gank until Jarvan shows up.
You just see that HP difference already in the jungle too between the two, with Contracts having a few spiders and whatnot to be able to kill and execute down with his abilities. Nice damage from the Prowling Projectile as Breezy and Prismal did separate a bit. Anytime I see that happen and the bot lane separates, I always think of Core JJ's video of engage on them if they separate.
Look at the timing that just happened actually, because Contracts was about to sneak behind Gorica and get a gank off, but because he was a few seconds too late, the ward got dropped off, and now they don't know. He knows the ward is behind him. Oh my god, what a great look. Stun?
Playing it safe. That's going to be the cleanse coming out. Gorica stays safe with 300 HP, and he does have repel minions to get to. Contract keeps himself very safe, but flash and cleanse. Now they have an exhaust and a heal still. Very supportive bot lane, so Golden Guardians pretty safe.
Yeah, beautiful gank there out of Contracts. Gets everything you want for a return kill, but this should signal to Fake God that he is in trouble because Jarvan did not respond with a counter gank bottom. He should be top.
Walk it in as far as you can. Hard getting up close and personal. The flag and drag for the relentless pursuit. Is Zion Spartan there with enough damage though? Just a few more auto attacks and they get the flash out as the corrupting potion is ticking. What a flag and drag from Hard on that. Beautifully done.
Yeah, normally you would see the Jarvan wait for Lucian to dash and then follow through, but it looked like he just went for it, and it was exactly the time that Fake God was thinking about dashing. Here we go again. Another gank bottom lane. Stun.
Oh! They're there. They have the flash. The exhaust is down, though. They have to be careful how far they're going under the turret. That's the exhaust on the Contracts. Does he have the repel? He does! It's going to be Zion Spartan on the bot side, though. Contracts could be going down to Gorica now in the fight, and that's going to be a nice trade for Golden Guardians. Zion Spartan, the 2v1, flashes forward, is going to be able to get himself a kill. And now, can he get the slows onto Breezy? He gets himself knocked back. He cannot. There's nothing there to keep him down.
They're chasing that, though.
I mean, they have pressure on the lane. It's actually evened out, so with no turrets capturing any of those minions, they can go as far as they want, only losing about 50 gold. Gorica back. He has a blue buff as MF in bot lane now, and that feels great because if you make it rain all the time, you're using a lot of that mana resource.
It feels good for Misfortune, but it might feel like a world of hurt for Zion Spartan as he now loses plate and CS in the top lane. But back to the gank in the bottom lane. This is a good look out of the Thieves. Unfortunately, the Q from Breezy actually missed. The flash Q went beyond the Misfortune, and a good idea from Puhi to tank the Cocoon.
That was sick.
To save his AD. That's a good
True
cat.
support play.
Great cat right there. Thank you.
Oh, he's got 9 lives, right?
Well, if you're dying 9 times on Yuumi, I don't want you on my team again.
Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
9 deaths for Yuumi. Oh my word.
Pushing mid lane, though. Actually keeping it far up. Contracts meets hard now in the jungle, and he's going to get a bit of help from Saligo with the shield hop. Straight back down to kill on the Contracts. He's finding himself in a bad spot, and Saligo comes to help and also goes down. Golden Guardians pick up a lot of gold on that one.
Ooh, and when the scaling team, or the team that is supposed to lose the early game, is in a 4-1 advantage, it becomes tougher and tougher for 100 Thieves to find something. Because now Contract just can't look at hard. He will just jump him right away and win the fight every time.
I mean, you look at the vision in that area they just fought in. Both teams walked out, so there are no wards to clear, but kind of walking into the darkness, you want to help your teammate, and there were just too many members of Golden Guardians on their side of the wall. We'll see it again. So the vision's there. So all they see is Contracts and a Yuumi, right?
Yeah.
Or hard in a Yuumi, I should say.
I'm so surprised that Kakuna actually missed. Because
And then a Blaze Olive is able to come out of nowhere.
And that ward was the result of the play that Gangplank and Misfortune did, chasing Braum down. So one play chained into another.
It's one of those things you got to remember. It's kind of like there's Karthus and he has R on the map. Well, there's Paddle Stars, and they can be coming from a few thousand range when we have early game fights.
Both
Not
equally
enough
as
vision
scary.
pressed up. Yeah, super, super equally scary. Especially when you don't have that vision ready. Scuttle crabbed up here. Subtle crabbed up? I like that. Subtle crab grabbed up.
Subtle scuttle.
Subtle scuttle. Oh my god, there's so many now. It looks like the first Cloud Drake is going to go over to 100 Thieves. Top lane to be cleared up by Fake God. That's going to be 52 to 36 on the top side. Like you said, Zion Spartan missed quite a wave as he got pushed in. Oops. And they will both be walking back the lane on this.
At least the Thieves have something to look for as a win condition here. If they can continue to control the dragons, obviously Soul will present itself. But bigger than the Soul is Fake God's advantage over Darshan. What can he accomplish here as Solution? Because he needs to either get turrets, get kills. We've seen what happens in Gangplank, get a free laning phase.
Oh, he's seen by the ward. It's perfect brush play here to walk in, but they're going to play it safe. Oh, no. It's like, don't let him play it safe with the prowling projectile, as they're almost able to activate the fight. 3 Doran's Blades here for Gorica means they can get pretty deep into it. Don't want to be tanking too many turret shots, but it looks like this will fizzle out. They're going to go back for now. All those summoner spells back up for Golden Guardian, so they're going to be super hard to gank again. And we'll see how Contracts works around this.
Contracts should be looking for Darshan here. I think you get red buff and look to make it play top. I want to see them use Soligo as well. It shouldn't be Contracts' sole responsibility to get something in this early game.
True.
Soligo needs to use that ultimate and find a roam. You can get to a fight before the Zoe. As mobile as she is with the Sork shoes, she just can't beat your global ultimate.
So good. Just taking down plates, harassing, and getting out. Lucian top is definitely a fun one to play. Little Rift Herald tussle here. Does not look like Contracts is going to contest or even try to get a smite down on this. Maybe? Down to 500. He doesn't know who's over the wall, though. Ooh. Okay, so he doesn't get it. They're kind of playing on a nice edge here, going for these situations. If you lose somebody, especially down 4-1,
Yeah.
that's not going to make the situation any better. But the top side swap here works out in favor of Golden Guardians as they pick up the Rift Herald, and it is going to be Zion Spartan towards the bot side. So it looks like they'll actually hold this for a little bit and see how that works out once they have a 3-minute Infernal Drake coming up.
And Contrax was there thinking that either Zion Spartan was going to overextend and you could get a cocoon onto him, or if somebody was going to try to gank Fake God for being overextended. I think that kind of play involves too much of the enemy making a mistake versus you setting your own play up. And the slight adaptation would be just get Lucian to crash the minion wave, go around and use the Pantheon to also jump behind us. So you commit 3 people to the play. And against a pick like Gangplank, if you play safe, you really will need 3 man because the Gangplank ultimate can throw a big wrench in your power dive plans.
Little piercing arrow to get as much of that wave pushed that he might be missing. And Prismal maybe lets this walk in. Should just be a few shots to kill those minions anyways, so it's not like you can freeze the wave at all. Up towards the top side comes Contrax as he sees 3 on that. Maybe they say stay safe. He wants to get a gank on mid for a Blaze Olive here. There is going to be a cleanse for the Cocoon if he gets this in. We're going over, a sweep on it. That's the Aegis drop. The shield hop. Is it going to be enough? He doesn't have the speed to get out. Beautifully done there.
Wow, you actually could see the second that a Blaze Olive died, the flash came up. He could not flash out of that. Was perfectly timed to the second.
That's why he ran towards the wall so quick. I was kind of wondering his pathing was to dodge or to flash over, but I saw it down, so super unfortunate. And I'd like to think that's players kind of having that time as they go for a bot lane gank as well, knowing the map is theirs. Soligo takes a few too many. He thought Zion Spartan was going to go down, but he just gets out of turret range. And Fake God's only going to have to take 1 shot as he gets the plate to get out of this. 100 Thieves turn up the heat a bit and make it 4-3 instead.
I feel so justified saying that you needed 3 people to take down the Gangplank because the ultimate was going to be a big pain in the butt, and it turns out it's exactly that. They're not going to get more out of it because their health is really low, but they get exactly the gold on the player that can win the game for them. Fake gun on the Lucian. Sorry, he doesn't get the gold. He gets the play gold. He doesn't get the kill.
Right. Oh, that's a block. Concussive blows. That was a perfect cleanse on Winter's Bite. Concussive blows there. They're going to get final chapter right back. A little too close for Gorica. Still has 1 turret shot going over to Breezy. What a play. And they turn the tables on 100 Thieves in this instance. Prowling projectile connects. The follow-up barrels to come. That's a 1-2. And they gets a stopwatch. He's going down in this situation. So a big use of a critical one there.
Yuumi stole the kill.
Ruined everything I said. Forget it.
Would you actually be mad if the Yuumi stole the kill, though?
I'm never mad if
she
a teammate
always
steals a kill.
Really?
No. You're winning. If you're like 4-0 Yuumi to my 0-0-4 marksman, then I might want to buy an item, but never won. Zion Spartan goes down. They're going to be giving these kills out right now for the side of 100 Thieves. They're answering back immediately. Every time they find trouble from Golden Guardians, they say, well, it's our turn now. I'm liking this game so far.
They're starting to discover just how strong these picks they have are right now, and it's because their items have been completed. I'm loving this function, and I'm going to keep using it. Check it out. 1 completed item, 2 completed items, 3 and 4. They are in prime battle mode here for 100 Thieves.
That is big. That is real big. And I think they know it. You just have to look in the inventories. You don't even have to test the fight right now. And we'll see how this went one more time towards the mid.
So this is the first kill onto a Blaze. Oh, actually, no, this is the return. When the cleanse is down, you can always come back, and I love the heads-up play to go for that.
Got him, coach. The Rift Herald attack.
Lucian was on the way here.
Oh.
I wonder why he held the oranges that long. Maybe it was off cooldown.
Maybe the movement speed coming in from Yuumi.
Yeah, should have instantly cleansed that one.
More plays for the bot side. Do they have Rift up again? No, so they use that mid, even on the side of 100 Thieves, rather. Holy macaroni! That's a lot of sauce getting put down on a Zion Spartan right there. Contract's able to really throw Zion out of his lane.
Getting hit with that drip there for the elite. Once she has Sorkshu's Runic Echoes, you don't actually need the Pantheon for this dive. There is no magic resistance for Zion Spartan, so no longer do you need to 3-man this play, which frees up Soligo to defend top.
This is so great. We got 2 Ocean Souls coming in. I like this. Very calm day of League of Legends on the Rift. This game's a little bit more hectic than the last, but Ocean Soul will definitely provide useful for these teams. Nobody's yet to pick one up. It's just the Infernal and the Cloud in favor of 100 Thieves as we come up on the 15-minute mark in the game. And we look at some of those breakpoints, 131 in CS to 73 of Zion. But picking up those kills has pretty much equaled all of that out for Zion's Farm.
Yeah, and if the 100 Thieves game this week is any indication of what's to come, with this advantage, Fake God should be able to secure the Tier 1 top all on his own, and eventually, when you get Black Cleaver, progress to the Tier 2s, and then Gangplank can't even look at you. He just has to watch as you last it and take all of his structure. It's the Pirate's worst nightmare.
Oh. Those little tools of being able to displace someone, even if you're not hitting them, like a Trouble Bubble or Empire of Vision, say for Swain, so useful, especially when you've played that character. Because then you can kind of see, if I put this in front of them, they have to walk around. But that path they walk around could be a perfect spot for you to initiate.
Kind of guide their movement.
Yeah, you're not even creating terrain, you're just creating places people can't walk. And it is so, so useful when you have catch potential. Like a Zoe, like a Swain, like somebody else in the game, as we're talking about those long-range skills.
Well, looks like 100 Thieves will be using those skills for threatening a Blaze Olive as they get the cleanse with the Varus ultimate, and now they're thinking about either the Rift Herald or going for mid lane. I think Rift Herald should be the play here because everybody on Golden Guardians is shoved back. No one's in the jungle. Use the time wisely and secure an objective.
Why not? Exactly what they're going for. Good pressure on the bot here from Soligo as he takes that Pantheon from mid into a solo. They have a minute and a half coming up on the next Ocean Drake, so they can actually use this pressure quite hard to say, hey, you have to be top while our Ocean Drake is ours. 16.5 minutes in. Golden Guardians pick up a bit of their jungle here, and we'll see where 100 Thieves decides to move after this. They have all of their outer turrets up still.
There's a lot of options that the Thieves could do right now, and I'll go through some of them. You can go to the top lane with your Lucian and either pop the Herald, hope that Golden Guardians goes for Dragon, and then you can get 2 turrets out of that. That could be a way to build a gold lead big enough to then use that map pressure in the top side to secure a Baron early. Now, that's a lot of planning and moving pieces, but it's one that you can do if Golden Guardians wants to go for Dragon. Alternatively, you just drop it in the mid lane, which is what we usually see. Distract the enemy team as they clear it, then you control the Dragon, and then you easily either get a pick or get the fight that you want. Looking for that pick.
Ooh, hard baits it out. So top lane is going to get pushed. They won't need Herald for that. I almost was going to say, why is it always the jungler that picks up Herald? Easy answer is he's the one who's always walking back and forth to each lane.
Yeah. So I think that that's a very good question because a lot of times as a jungler, I ask myself, this might not be the right time for me to pick it up. As a jungler, you a lot of the times want to be using your sweeper or your trinket to collect vision. So I think
sense.
it just hides and gives you a lot more flexibility to what you're trying to do because you don't want your laner, your Lucian to say,
whoa, Prismal. It's a Blaze Olive Slash, though. There's the culling coming out, giving Hard a bit of a back scratch, but he almost goes down 110 HP to his name as they run now through the Shrine. That will boost 100 Thieves right into range to take the fight on Golden Guardians. Contracts coming around the side, a great block after a bit of damage coming in from the bullet time. Breezy's going to stay alive as he just gets out of the damage. And now it's going to be Soligo on the left side, a repel from Contracts as they reassess the fight, knowing Golden Guardians might have something coming from a Blaze Olive's back line. Zion's tall with 100% HP. And are they really going to get this after what? An engage coming in from 100 Thieves. Golden Guardians, they are able to take their first Drake.
They're up against the Yuumi.
Oh,
and
what a bubble! Wow. And Yuumi gets it. All right, now I'm getting up.
Yeah, I'm on the
That
Zoe
is a
train.
shutdown. That is a shutdown, though.
Yeah, so the Soliga ultimate went on the left-hand side of the dragon. It actually wasn't behind Golden Guardian, so they weren't able to cut him off, and they walked straight into Misfortune ultimate. The fact that it took so long to get anybody low enough just means that Yuumi gets to use more of her zoomies and keep everybody alive. This is the frustrating part of Yuumi, when she's already levels 8, close to level 9, maxing that E, and no one dies. Like plus 264 on the first one. What's the second heal gonna look like? Should be the same. Yeah, 282.
That was a great Gangplank ultimate from Zion Spartan as well.
100 Thieves needs to look for more skirmishes, more numbers advantage. A straight 5v5 is not where they're gonna find their win.
Oh, the bubble.
And that's just greed there, because he even burned the flash for contracts. He knows he shouldn't be there. There's no way they're letting you steal that.
Oh, Yumi's on her themes as well, so those are going to feel even better to get huge chunks of heals onto whoever you're going to be healing. A little bit stronger now as they move around. Hard versus contracts, but really it's 2v1 with UD sitting in his back pocket. We're going to get Soligo pushing top and FLICKR pushing bot. Like you said, Crumb's kind of looking like the LCS team in here as they start to push forward. Hard getting caught out as they do try to tempt 100 Thieves. You were saying to look for the picks, and they are very much doing that.
Yeah, and using that pressure on the red side was meant to create an avenue to go to the bottom lane. You can see that the Jarvan is kind of pacing back and forth between mid and bottom to defend from the potential Elise or a Braum sneaking in there and punishing Zion, who will not survive a 2v1 dive.
Oh. Feels bad, because you know he's just going to relentless pursuit away like that. If anything happens and you can't catch him, they have all the vision they need here. It's just a wall of security through the jungle. And we're back. This is Deja Vu.
Whoa.
Oh my god, they go right to the back line. That's going to be on to Prismal, is it? He could go down. He's staying alive somehow in this fight. And he finally falls to Hard. They're still going for the kill onto Breezy, and that was an instant hit coming in from Golden Guardians, giving 100 Thieves 0 time to react.
Yeah, the Golden Guardians caught on to pretty quickly for what 100 Thieves were trying to do and just wait in the brush, knowing that they have the Gangplank ultimate. And I actually would love to see the replay, because I suspect that Contrax's Cocoon hit a Raptor that was aggroed by the Misfortune bullet time, which actually did not connect on Misfortune and let the bullet time go for a full channel.
I'm excited. You have excited me.
Right, like those tiny little things that just look insignificant in hindsight.
Oh, believe me, as a player who throws skill shots, I understand minions walking in front of everything.
Let's see it. Yeah, look at that, the minions. Cocoon. Actually, that Cocoon wasn't even aimed at the right direction. Dang it, Contract.
Oof. So he's like, it's kind of like you don't want to throw it at the minion, but it's in your way, and then you just throw it anyway. Definitely wasn't where it was supposed to be. That's the result of that Cocoon. Good investigative work. 36.3 to 36.1, even with 3 turrets up. The 9 kills and CS in favor of Golden Guardians are keeping them even in gold. Contracts next to Prismal as they use him as a bit of bait.
Yeah, and I'd love to use that bait again, but having Soligo ulting with it, right? So
True.
Pantheon is stuck in the top lane right now, just farming away against the Zoe, but it's not Zoe's responsibility to make a play happen at this stage. It's on Soligo, so we need to see Pantheon join up. Every time he's been a part of the fight, it's been going really well. Remember the ganks on mid lane, the dive on bottom, unlock Soligo. It's Monday Night League. It's mid lane Monday, guys.
This is very true. This is very true. I also want to see him set up a bit more to help Soligo with those ults. While mid lane is awesome for Pantheon, it's a giant lane. I actually think Riverside ults are much better. They're choked into that wall area a lot more. Pantheon ult's going to hit more of that, and they can't spread as much. This is the exact fight you would want that Pantheon ult right now, but he's coming down the lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't hurt to be from that way. Just love to see them all cordoned in one area when it does happen. Maybe they pinch themselves here into the front near the turret, but still not going to go for it just yet. Fake God's pushing, so if they can let a little bit of wear onto the first turret, not a problem. He, however, has to be worried about his well-being, though.
No vision on the Dragon. The push was too quick from Golden Guardian, so they will get this Ocean Drake. What does Thieves respond with, though? They need to be doing something. I think this is actually the angle for the fight. Here we go. Lucian's in the back.
That's the ulti from Saligo as he gets himself in. The Blaze Olive getting himself to safety as the culling once again over the wall from Fake God. They do have map positioning, though. They don't have too much of a minion wave in mid, but they can start a fight as Golden Guardians tries to get back to position. Looks like they'll just use this time to start setting up wards towards the top side of the map. Baron is going to be a very real thing soon. It's already been up for 4 minutes.
Man, I got excited for that fight. I thought we were going to have a real tussle, but the Pantheon ultimate just was not behind him. He kind of needs to be willing to die for these fights. I know he's got a big bounty, but you gotta do
missed
it
him
for
with
the
W.
You hate to see it.
2 Cloud Drakes, though. Golden Guardians knows they're just going to be able to heal up. Or, I'm sorry, Ocean Drakes. They know they're going to be able to heal up quite a bit. And 2 away from that Ocean Drake soul.
And they know that Yuumi with Ocean Drake is your win condition. It doesn't matter if you have damage, if you have CC, if you have a Yuumi, and you've got 4 members for Yuumi to be on, with an Ocean Dragon Soul, you will win the game.
They also now have 3 cleanse with the Mikhail's Crucible on the team. I wonder if they're organizing who does. You do yours first, I will support you with the cleanse. I think that's always the way to do it.
It's always, right? You have the responsibility falls on whoever has it first, and Crucible is worst case scenario, I'll bail you out.
For sure. It's a good way to do it. You don't want to be getting anybody wasting spells, especially that summoner spell against this team.
I have played with some very greedy ADs that will say, no, you Crucible first, I will save my cleanse for myself.
Wow, I wouldn't want that, though, because then you leave a chance in your fight, right? For that first portion is something up to chance.
You're really counting on your team.
Oh, they open up the book. Are they going to sign off on this final chapter, though? Breezy gets a nice unbreakable up. Contracts takes quite a bit of damage, but they're on to Gorka. That's going to be his cleanse coming out very quick. First, Crucible was used right away, more so for the heal after he got hit. And the double shield comp coming in of Saligo and Breezy here with Pantheon and Braum able to just shut down bullet time.
With the jungler being dead, I think 100 Thieves can definitely make a play for Baron here. You got the Blade of the Ruined King on 2 marksmen and an Elise. They need to complete this and just go for it. A fight is not necessary, just get the objective.
I think 100 Thieves actually has a great comp to just absorb now. They get those ultimates coming in. Fake God says, I am not fake. I am real God, and now I will fight. Over the wall, that's one that feels bad when you flash right into the arms of the enemy, and they're all gonna go down. Is that a triple kill for him? Did he
Bravo, that was so
a double.
Good from Fake God. We finally see him join the team
What,
in a fight, not on a lane split pushing. Instantly deletes Dorica, and then proceeds to take down Blaze Olive and his cat.
Oh, Zion.
Wait a minute.
Zion Spartan.
Wait a minute, the Baron?
Oh, hard?
You guys forgot about the Baron.
Everybody.
Oh.
That was kind of interesting.
Okay, so they just get kills, but the objective does not go 100 Thieves' way.
And they're able to clear the wards. Golden Guardians kind of resets here. We are 2,000 gold in the lead on side of 100 Thieves as we witness this all one more time, starting with the final chapter from the brush.
Now this is a bit of a far away engage. Notice that there's not going to be anybody for follow-up damage. Like a Blaze Olive needs to really come from far away to get in range on that one. And Saligo, while normally his ultimate should be in the back line, this was actually a great one because he only needs to take down the Jarvan to make the preceding play, which was all Fake God. Look at him on the right-hand side. Pretty much one-shot Skorica with that fat dash over the wall.
Boom. I don't know why Gorka was auto-attacking minions after he got Glacial Fisher. He shot 2 minions and he stood still, like Autobot mode. That was interesting to see. Prismal and another. Breezy locks up. They try to use their ult. Whoa, that's the damage you're looking for. If the shields fall, so do 100 Thieves. They do not have enough protection after those first bits of barrier go down. And now Golden Guardians are going to have a 5v3 to Baron.
Yeah, they're making the exact same play that they tried last time, but there was no follow-up from 100 Thieves. The Pantheon was too far away, and so was Lucian. A steal is possible here, as Elise does have Flash, but it looks like Golden Guardians is taking another alternative. Just getting a tier 2 bottom lane and setting up for the next dragon.
Yeah, they're going to go right bot because it's 12 seconds, and they just want to shut down what would be Soul Point now, since the first 2 Drakes were picked up by 100 Thieves. Yeah, they're pinging on it right now. They want to make sure that it is not 100 Thieves start on that Drake.
So 100 Thieves should know that the Golden Guardians think that they're going for the dragon and should set up a trap if they can to try to get a little bit of chunk, as Varus and Braum are almost back on the map. Look at Pantheon in the back. He's the guy to watch. Squires does see him, so Zion will catch him. I think he's going to have to ult out of here. Bye-bye. Whee!
Where's he go? There he is, over by top of blue buff, running with the team. All right, so 100 Thieves, they get themselves into position. I like that. A good move by Golden Guardians to kind of push contracts to getting the cocoon out, knowing that 100 Thieves wasn't in a position to fight just yet, but we are now. We are in the pit. Hard's taking quite a bit of damage, getting Zoomy heals. Another nice little thing you can do, having Yuumi there. Could he get the Cataclysm down on the rest of the team? He's going to go down immediately with a piercing arrow to the chest, and now Yuumi goes down as 2 are in that fight to start. Will they be able to follow up with this? And that's going to be an Ocean going over to 100 Thieves. That's the Soul Point we were talking about from having the first 2 Drakes in their favor, and Golden Guardians once again have a bit of a slip up.
And wow, that was a play that instantly killed Yuumi. You typically just let the cat poke around. There's not a lot of healing. There's no sustain really on 100 Thieves' side. I felt like if they just kept poking, they would have had a better fight, but they jumped the gun first and paid dearly.
Did he get shield jumped immediately when he went in? Because there's still Cataclysm for Hard, and that seems like it would have dealt the damage that really caused 100 Thieves to have a problem.
So Hard goes in right away with the book, and I think he
so
gets
Salika's
stun locked
there.
though. Watch Hard, right? Because I want to see if he pops the stone plate right away. No. He just dies instantly. And then because Yumi's with him, she dies too. I would like to see Yuumi stay with the carries and let Hard die if he wants to go for this play again, because if the exact same thing happened, but Yuumi was on the carries, I think Golden Guardians wins.
Had to be an instant cocoon once he was in there. Not seeing too much other crowd control go off. Fake God towards the top, and we have 4 minutes for Soul Point. That's Ocean Drake for 100 Thieves to just get huge on this. And again, the Lucian top taking after the LCS team of Sunday's Lucian top we saw this weekend, a 3-0-4 and continuously pressuring, pushing an advantage, not joining the team when he doesn't have to. But here, it looks like they do want to put the fight on with all the members. So Lee goes just to the backside as the turret will go down on the bot. Zion Spartan teleporting into the fight, and they're going to lose a Blaze Olive immediately. Hard's in there. They cannot help him, though. He's gone too deep, too late, and that's going to be 100 Thieves picking up a few more kills.
Contracts was looking for a really odd fight, but he actually had these Zhonya's to really outplay Golden Guardians as they overcommit every major CC for the Elise, and she just dodges it with 2 moves.
Just waiting to clean up minions now, as 100 Thieves are going to be pushing in ever so slowly, more so waiting for Soligo on the bottom side of the map to bring that minion wave up, but they'll do the damage they can so far here towards the top side. Both teams, I think, in this game have a lot to look at, to where they felt too aggressive or a move was made too quick and there could have been a little more reconnaissance done or just surveying before they actually put themselves in that dangerous spot.
That's spot on, right? A little bit more reconnaissance before the fight happens, because here, yeah, you're going to take a 4v4, but it's not really in your favor to take these kinds of fights. The Pantheon always get there faster, and when your main carry gets CC'd out of her ultimate, she's not going to dish out as much damage as the 700 bounty Lucian.
There's a lot of bounty on their side of the map. You're looking at 1,300 plus another, so 1,450 overall to be picked up on that side of the Rift. It just shows you how well this mid-game has gone for the 100 Thieves squad, especially when Golden Guardians really wanted to be getting themselves up to a point where they can start doing a lot of damage in this game towards mid and late.
Mid-game's going their way, yet they're still not out of the woods just yet. Any game you're up against a Yuumi, you have to consider that she's going to become a major threat. So, sadly,
it's scary.
Yuumi can still carry this, whether you find that sad or not. I think it's cool that the support can do that.
All day. I'm into that.
But 100 Thieves still need to crack the base, right? Because there is no damage on the base, and until they feel threatened for an inhibitor, it's not going to happen.
Oh, Gorica takes half of HP bar from the Grand Starfall. Now it's going to be 100 Thieves in the fight. Hard is finally there with the team able to support. Channeling now is the bullet time as they ride the bullet wave on the side of 100 Thieves. Contracts is in a 1v1 now with the Blaze Olive as the rest of the team's going to answer in. Hard misses the flag and drag on Zanya's, and they will lose Zion Spartan to start things off. Watching Fake God, he goes low, and that's going to be Gorica firing off the bullets. He's got some extra gunpowder in those, and he takes down 3.
Look at the damage that he's dealing now with the heals, and Yumi's going to stop the port too. Oh my god, I think that Golden Guardians might have just won it. Miss Fortune have
45 seconds. This could be enough. Breezy's forced to flash over the wall for what could be a base save, but he's not even one to clear the minions. Luckily, he's only got really 3 to clear. Hard takes the first few shots, so they have a canyon coming up for the first wave. And it might be a few too many minions to hit here. They will have Prisma at least when they get to Nexus turret number 1, I believe. If Breezy can hold this off. Their time to take down Breezy as well is going to cost a bit as Saligo is 5 seconds from coming up. They're doing double damage to the turrets as they start this one off. These games can be a big turnaround if they don't have enough to stop it. They're going for the kills right away, down to half now on the Nexus, but they do focus the damage, and it is going to be the win for Golden Guardians in the end.
Wow, and just like our last game, it just takes one fight in the late game to decide everything. Miss Fortune ends up running it straight down the mid lane, and the engage from 100 Thieves turns out it was the harshest lesson that they have learned all game. You do not fight front to back against Yumi Miss Fortune.
You did indeed say they could find the fights. They find the Yumi. They find
Yumi will hurt.
Oh my word. A back and forth game. I think, again, we can say for this one that both teams have positions where they can say, we had this lead, but we used it too aggressively, and it got us hurt. Golden Graphs look interesting on this one as well. But well played overall when they have those advantages. It's just finding how to push that into the base when you can and not get pushed back after an objective and then the back and forth, back and forth. I think it's a lot of what these teams went through today.
And that last fight was actually just a mini microcosm of back and forth because it felt like 100 Thieves came out winning. They got the first kills of the fight, and then they overextended thinking we can get some more kills. Suddenly Yumi starts flying around, healing members back up, and with the Bloodthirster on Gorica, he never dies.
Yeah. They also went pretty aggressive towards that bot side of the map too, and seeing Gorica have the heal, or I'm sorry, the teleport, or cleanse and flash. It's on cooldown right now for my screen. It's hard to see. And then the heal and flash as well going in for Yumi. That bot lane's so hard to kill. Then as you get into the game, everything you start to purchase denies the other team's engages. You have Stopwatch, you have Mikhail's, you have 2 cleanses that go on to some of your slipperiest members. And the one in the mid lane can grab even more cleanses if they're being used by other people.
Right, endless.
It's absolutely ridiculous. There's your picks and bans on the screen.
Big one was actually the first 3 bans were the Aphelios and Soraka Nautilus. Big 2 are the Aphelios Soraka. Typically they're red side bans. And if they're banned on blue, you're just saying, I dare you to ban Yumi, or else we're going to first pick it.
Yeah.
Looks like 100 Thieves didn't get the memo. The Yumi was first pick, and they didn't need to get it. They had an actual solid plan to defeat it. It just was not executed.
That's right. As we look at that, you can see how it kind of plays into where the game went with the trickery that Golden Guardians could bring into that gameplay, having a Yumi, a Jarvan jumping around. You're trying to dodge a cannon barrage, but also a Zoe, also flashing in and out of the fog of war. It's just so much to think about.
Wouldn't then Zoe, if she has a Yumi on her, she would also extend the range of Yumi's prowling projectile because she's moving forward and it just goes really far.
That's gross.
Yeah, it is.
Have to know that. Let's get a replay of that early gank in the bot lane. Just show you the tempo of the game, how hard it was to gank this bot lane. And well, Kuki does the bromit and keeps himself safe. You can see how much trouble they had getting this and what it turned out as a result.
Yeah, it actually got the 2 kills for Zion and 1 for Gorica, but it ended up being that the chase onto the Braum drops a ward which spots the Elise that then gets the kill onto Elise and continues to snowball for Golden Guardians.
It was a pretty quick start there, and we didn't see, I guess we saw more kills this game as the fights continued with Golden Guardians hard mid-game, or sorry, his mid-game highlights overall. This one was where I think 100 Thieves were like, hey, we had some pretty good plays around the map. They just didn't have the vision to start. And with a Blaze Olive coming out of nowhere, it turned the tide.
Yeah, and it's essentially you reset and you're just trying to establish your vision again to make the repeat play. But if the enemy team has died first, they will reset and jump the gun, as they did here. This was the MO for Golden Guardians to engage. It was always Jarvan with Yuumi utilizing the ultimates for both. It got really dicey when the stone plate came out.
Oof. I like that. That was a rinse and repeat. Like I said, this was a deja vu moment where we just saw Golden Guardians actually take a huge hit of damage, and they said, no, we actually need to control this side of the map because Lucian has too much control bot lane. He has a security throughout the jungle. It just was too much. That fight mid as well leads to a triple kill for Fake God. Just coming up big all around the map. 100 Thieves started to feel really good in these fights.
Yeah, same thing again, but this time Varus gets to flash out, which ends up being a really big deal as he can now influence the entire fight. Yes, Misfortune bullet time connects on 2 people, but it's not enough because the Jarvan is dead. It's then Fake God who sees the opportunity to take down Gorica. And this is a moment that I think the 100 Thieves will look back and start to think about what they could have done if the game could have been blown wide open from this play, because they did not get a Baron. They only got 4 kills out of that.
I love the fact that he didn't even need to flash over that wall, but flashed over that wall as fast as he could. And there were lots of triple kills coming up this game as Gorica also had one for himself towards the mid lane. As we see this last one, it kind of backed up.
So watch the heal. That's a 585 heal onto the Misfortune. Let's see how much punishment she takes and how much does Yuumi heal back. Again, she's super low. Heals another one. We're back to the Misfortune. Back to Gangplank.
Oh my god.
Healed.
Look at her healing was shooting.
It's Bloodthirster combined with Yuumi, right? So this is where 100 Thieves starts turning, thinking, yeah, we got this. Look at Misfortune. We can turn on to her. No, you can't.
Oh.
No, you cannot.
Oh. Those are the ones you feel at home.
You felt this game at home, man. You look at that graph. It felt like 100 Thieves had it at 1.4.1K ahead. It really was their game in command, and it took only a span of 5 minutes for them to go from the maximum gold lead into Nexus Explosion.
Yikes. So ADs did the same amount of damage, but you saw it. I think it was MF kind of unloading the rest of it there in that line going right back up into Golden Guardians gold side. What a game all around, and kind of shows that both teams knew that game was up in the air. A lot of those fights were just kind of throwing punches to see what happened and then backed off. We saw a lot of Barons back and forth where they were tempting each other. And we have had some crazy games already today. And we've got one more Academy game coming up next. It's Immortals versus Cloud9. Stay tuned.